Ronaldo Marcus Green directs the newest biographical movie chronicling part of the life of Bob Marley. If you don't know who Bob Marley was, he was a artist most prominently making music in the 70s before he sadly passed away in the 80s. And maybe he started making music in the late 60s too, I'm not quite sure. But basically his whole idea with his music that he wanted to get across was get a message of peace and love and unity across in his music that just made people feel happy and just wanted to bring that peace to the world that what is not very prominent in today's society. But if you thought it was not prevalent in today's society, it was definitely not prevalent back then. So this movie is basically not chronicling his whole life. It's more about this concert that he decided to put on called One Love. And it's basically a concert to spread awareness about just all the violence that was happening at that time, and just to spread peace and love and unity, like he said. And so yeah, that's basically what this movie is about. The challenges and struggles and joyous moments that he had to go through to do that concert, but also to just keep on going on with his career beyond that concert, and just keep going all over the world doing what he loves. So yes, this movie is directed by Ronaldo Marcus Green, and it's the only movie that I've seen from Ronaldo is this movie that he is probably most known for. It's the movie King Richard that he did a couple years back, starring Will Smith, about Venus and Serena Williams. And going into this film, I was very excited to hopefully learn a lot about Bob Marley. I like learning about different music artists, and especially getting introduced to their music. And from what I've heard, Bob Marley was a pretty cool dude and did produce some pretty good music. But because of how young I am and stuff like that, I just haven't gotten that used to his music, and have not heard his music most of his music until I heard it in this film. So did this movie make me a Bob Marley lover, or did it make me not just really interested in the guy and the stuff that he did? And was it even a well-made movie overall? Let's see. Okay, so yes, Bob Marley One Love is a movie starring Kingsley Benadir and Lashana Lynch as Bob Marley and Bob Marley's wife Rita. And this movie stars plenty of other actors as well that do a really good job. before I do have a couple negatives in this movie that I do think brings this movie down to just being a really good movie, when I do feel like it could have been really great and one of the among the best music biopics. But I do think this movie does have a couple problems and issues. But overall, I did really enjoy this movie. Um, to like I said, to start with my positives, it's that Kingsley Benadeel and the rest of the cast do a really really good job in their roles. I mean, Kingsley Benadeel does just a really good job of bringing that true spirit from Bob Marley, that Bob Marley had to the screen. Just so much full of life, full of energy, so much charisma and charm to him that really showed why and how everyone liked him and why he was as big of a phenomenon as he was. He also, this movie also does a really good job of just putting Bob Marley into a good light. Like, they show Bob Marley's just as the person that he was, that he has become, and it just shows uh like I said in the beginning of this review, what he wanted to portray with his music and his life in general was to spread awareness of all the violence and stuff that was happening, and just spread love, peace, and unity, and just making everyone happy. And I feel like this movie very capsulates that in a very beautiful way, to where by the end of this movie, in a way you do care about this guy and you really feel for him, and it just gets you very excited to know that there was a person out there that would just show about, just loved his craft so much, to the point where he wanted to use it as a tool to help people and not just have like fun or whatever. Sadly, while I do think all the cast does a really good job, but especially Kingsley Benadeel, in this incredible star-making performance, and I do have a couple negatives of this movie that I do feel like kind of boggled the movie down just a bit. But the positives that I did tell definitely outweigh the negatives, just because it just shows Bob Marley, how he was as a person and the relationships that he had very, very well. But I think what this movie could have done a little bit better was to show not just Bob Marley as he was as a person, like later in his life. I feel like they had the chance to maybe show a little bit more of his past, his upbringing. If you know Bob Marley at all, you would know he's Jamaican and probably has a lot of interesting past, a good story to tell of his childhood and stuff like that, that I wish they tapped into just a little bit more. They tell us about it in like text in the beginning of the movie and also at the end of the movie. But I do feel like there was some kind of shallow moments in the movie that I feel like could have been filled with just a little bit of insight of the upbringing that Bob Marley had. What made him become the star that he was. And by me saying that, you guys are probably like, well, yeah, every movie biopic does that. So it's kind of nice that this one kind of took a different direction. I actually kind of disagree with that. I feel like I said, I feel like just Bob Marley had such an interesting story to tell, especially by hearing what they were telling us through like the text titles at the beginning and end of the movie, that I just feel like they could have tapped into that just a little bit more. On top of that, this movie is kind of a slow start, at least for me, because for one, everyone, while they do a really good job in the roles, they do have Jamaican accents that all just take a little bit time, at least for me, to get used to. But once you get used to it, I feel like you definitely get used to it, and you just start to get into the movie more and more. But I feel like not until they get into the actual making of the concert, and you get to know more and more about his writing style and just him getting ready to go on tour and all this stuff, it doesn't really pick up. And so I feel like that made the movie just a little bit, just not the best biopic movie, but it's definitely up there, not with one of the best, but it's definitely one that I will watch again, just to when I just want to feel uplifted and charmed, because that is definitely what Bob Marley's music has done for a lot of people, and through this movie, it has for me. But anyways, guys, that is my thoughts on Bob Marley One Love. What did you guys think of the movie? Did you like it? Did you not like it? Let me know all your thoughts in the comment section down below. Also in the comments, if you have any movie suggestions for me that you want me to check out and then review on this YouTube channel, don't forget to leave those suggestions in the comments down below, so then I can tell you my opinion if a movie is worth watching or not. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Hit that bell notification after you subscribe so you can be notified every time I upload a new video like this one. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Goodbye.